Well, the repair work on Don Darlett's new streamliner continues here at the Gatornationals, and you can see that it's a little bit of a hurry-up job. Kind of a finishing touch there with a can of black spray paint. Not exactly what you'd find at the your Rod and Custom show, Steve.
No, not hardly. Here is Dan Pastorini. You'll recall in first round he defeated Shirley Muldowney. Well, it's time for round 2, but Dan is going to get a gift. He will have a solo run. He will advance to the semifinals with no problem whatsoever. The man he was scheduled to race here in round 2, the colorful Greek from Chicago, Illinois, Chris Karamessinis, defeated Bill Mullins in round number 1, but destroyed so many parts that the Greek just had to put the old car in the box and take a seat in the grandstands. He just couldn't come back. You know, Dan Pastorini is probably a little tired of being referred to as an ex-NFL quarterback. Drag racing is something he always wanted to do and is now finally getting the chance. I talked to him earlier. Anything that a decade in pro football helped you with getting your feet wet in this sport?
Well, I think it's just, you know, the willingness to work. You have to work in football just like you have to do in this business. And right now it's just Donnie and myself. And we work very well together. I'm fortunate that I've got good people working with me and helping me out. This industry is a tremendous industry. The NHRA has helped us a bunch. All of our sponsors that are on the car have helped us tremendously, and I'm very appreciative of that fact.
Which is harder work, football or drag racing?
Drag racing.
Which is more fun?
Drag racing.
2 for 2.
That's right.
All right, Pastorini has an interesting decision to make here. Does he go for it, try to set a low ET, and then get lane choice in the next round? Or does he just make a very gentle pass simply to get into the next round? What do you think, Steve?
I think he makes a gentle pass, Brock. I looked at his trailer. There are very few spare parts. Pastorini can't afford to break a thing. He abandons this run. He'll coast on through into the semis and give up any chance of lane choice. He had to do that. In fact, I'm proud of him for doing that. A little ego could have pushed the guy to the finish line. It wouldn't have been a smart move.
Interesting that he runs 7:29, which is still a pro stock mark that would be very difficult to beat, and he shut off about quarter track. These things are rockets. Okay, we've got a couple of familiar names coming up. Now it's Connie Coletta against Gary Beck. But before that, let's go to Steve and Pastorini.
Well, Dan, that's kind of like the other team not showing up.
Those are few and far between, but we'll welcome it right now, Steve.
An intelligent move you made up there, running that left-hand lane. There's been some doubts about that lane. You don't have lane choice, so you know someone's going to probably put you there.
Well, we knew that we wouldn't have lane choice naturally. We just wanted to go out and see if the car'd shake, and it didn't shake. It left very hard and set up real good, so we figured Gartlitz or whoever's ever winning the next round will probably have the right lane. That's been the better lane today, so we were preparing for the left lane.
And looking in your trailer, I can see why you didn't want to risk running for lane choice.
We're short on a few bucks.
All right, we'll see you in the semifinals.
Okay, thank you.
So Pastorini heads back to the pits to begin work for his next shot, and here is Connie Coletta backing in. His opponent, once again, will be the 2-time world champion, Gary Beck, who still holds the low ET mark in all of drag racing at a 5:39. A man who's had a little bit of a hard time last season, but is one of the most formidable opponents ever in this sport.
Well, he salvaged 1985 with a win at the NHRA World Finals in Pomona, California, the last race of the season. Connie Coletta, boy, he had a good year in '85. He won, the Mile High Nationals in Denver, the North Star Nationals in Brainerd, Minnesota. He's running as well as he ever has compared to the competition.
And seems to be having a lot of fun doing it. You don't see the kind of pressure on Connie that he seemed to have in his earlier career. Just out there having a good time.
This is Connie Coletta's golf course. I mean, he's a hard-working man. This is his pleasure. Gary Beck in the far lane. It is Beck away first. Gary Beck with a good advantage off the starting line. Here comes Coletta. It is Gary Beck. Connie Coletta runs quicker, but Gary Beck wins it.
Yes, a 560 to a 563 for Gary Beck. Top speed about the same, 255 to 257, but it was right here on the line. Beck squeezed a perfect light and literally blew Connie away on the start. Connie made a race of it at mid-track, but it was that beautiful start that brought Gary the victory.
Gary Beck, nice driving. You beat Connie Coletta with a hole shot.
Oh, terrific. We needed it. I know he's been running real good, and our car's a little inconsistent, so we have to go for it.
You ran very well in the left lane, which some said was maybe subpar.
Well, yes and no, but it's, you know, it was all right. I didn't hear the ET yet, but it's you know, it held on good.
563.
Well, it's a little slower than last time, but it was all right.
Gary Beck goes into the semis. Well, no driver likes to be beat off the line. Brock is with Connie Coletta.
Oh, Connie Coletta checking over the engine here. Looks like that didn't break, but 560, Connie, I think he had you.
Yeah, he run 3/10 slower than I did, and sometimes we got a clutch problem that we had to put 2 new discs back in it again, and the car just isn't reacting. You step on it, and it's not moving like it's supposed to.
So that was the reason for the late start.
Yeah, we put 2 new discs in the thing, and it didn't pull. The thing didn't ET decent. We run 550 last round, and it caught some clutch discs, and we put some more weight in it, new discs in it, and it was the wrong way to go.
Wrong way, Ron. Well, we're sorry, yeah.
Me too.
Well, Brock, Connie's workday is not over. His son Scott has a funny car we'll be seeing later on, and I'm sure Connie will be wrenching on it. And speaking of wrenching, those are the hands of the master. Don Garlits sliding the pistons into that aluminum racing Hemi for round 2 action to come. Stay with us here at the Motorcraft Gatornationals.
Back at the Motorcraft Gatornationals, Gainesville, Florida, and I'll tell you what, the stands are packed right now because we've got a big one coming up. It's Big Daddy Don Garlits, who's going to go against the current top speed record holder in top fuel, Steve Evans, and that, of course, is Pennsylvania's Joe Amato.
That's right. Just a month or so ago in California, Amato ran 269 miles an hour, and it's a real duel between these two as to who will be first to go 270. You're looking in the far lane at the 84 world champion, in the near lane at the 85 world champion. It has the potential of being the best race of the day.
Well, remember, Steve, a couple of years ago, it was Amato with that new high-wing car that ran 260 here.
That's right. He stole all the thunder. But this year, it's Big Daddy. And you'd be smiling, too, if you brought a brand-new, untried car to one of the biggest events on the circuit and qualified #1.
And Joe comes here with perhaps a little vengeance in his heart. Let's not forget that he gave up his world championship to Garlits last year.
That's right. He didn't like scraping that gold leaf #1 off the wing at all. And this is a lady that had to take it off, and she liked it even less, his wife, Cherry.
Well, it's hard to describe Amato's car as old, but it really, in a sense, that it's an old design against the brand new, very radical machine of Garlits. I guess you could call it at least conventional, Steve.
And let me tell you what's going to happen very quickly. You're going to see canopies like that on virtually every car. Garlits says you can't believe what it's like not having that wind blast in your face. It's quieter. He said it's just like going for a drive in the family car. And I understand the people that make them already have 20-some-odd orders, maybe one from Amato. They're pre-staged. That's Amato in the far lane. And the strange front end with a little bit of wheels of Big Daddy in the near lane. Will those V-belts stay on this time? Garlits is away first. Garlits with a monster hole shot. Amato says goodbye, Big Daddy. It is Garlits winning it at 5:46. Now he's slowed to 246 miles an hour. He doesn't want to run any faster than he has to, Brock. And again, the belts came off.
Yes, they did. As we watch it again, there's the hole shot that carried Garlits to victory. The car looking almost like a blunt-nosed spear driving down the racetrack and easily beating the former world champion Joe Amato. But the victory has not been without its penalties. Once again, the front tires have come off those unique small wheels. And Garlits has gotten out of the automobile, immediately went up front to have a look at the damage. He is concerned. Steve is with him.
Well, for Don Garlits, a very fine 5:46 puts him in the semifinal round, and I'm just hoping that he's got plenty of those belts for the front wheels. From what we've seen so far today, he's going to possibly need some more. Don, do you have plenty of those?
I got plenty of them.
What was that you were ripping out of the front bodywork?
With a little spacer that goes in there.
So Garlits obviously very, very concerned, and now more with the motor than he is the front end. As we've said before, he knows that these tire arrangements, if you can call them tires, is just a temporary measure until he finds the right thing. But as you can see, the front end of this car again chewed up. The fiberglass and resin will be back out in Big Daddy's pits.
Oh, you seldom see Garlits more concerned after a victory like that. A very satisfying one, by the way, so he definitely has problems. We'll stay up with him. But now it's back to the starting line where the reigning champion here at the Gatornationals, Dick LaHaye, is ready to go against the youngster from just down the road in Miami, Florida, Darrell Gwynn.
And the Florida fans are plenty proud of Darrell Gwynn. He won the opening race of the season, the Winter Nationals in Pomona, California, a little over a month ago. And what a boost that was for this family-supported race car.
Well, you could call both these guys the bedrock of the sport. Dick LaHaye, a full-time professional, not quite as well-financed a team as some others, in the same way with Darrell Gwynn, as you said. Both guys work very hard, struggle hard with family members to stay in there. Unfortunately, Darrell Gwynn had a big setback in qualifying as well with a major blower fire, Steve.
Indeed, Brock. Gwynn came to the Gators full of confidence, but it evaporated right here. At the Winter Nationals, he ran 5 consecutive 540 elapsed times and never heard a part. Not so here. I talked to a very down young man.
Well, Darrell, a plenty spectacular fire from where we sat. Did you know that you had all that flame trailing you?
No, I didn't. I really didn't expect to have what happen, but those kind of things happen. We don't hurt a lot of parts in this car, so I don't know a lot of times when to lift when the piston's hurting, because we don't hurt it that many times, so I don't have real good experience at lifting. It didn't burn too early, but anyways, I figured the car would run 540. I'm very unhappy with a 558. It should have run 535 and blew the rods out of it.
Well, that young man now with a new motor on board and some of those precious spare parts and precious dollars expended to get him here against Dick LaHaye.
And also, Gwynn has a new respect for what can happen. He knows what it feels like now when the motor goes away. Dick LaHaye in the near line, he's blown up plenty of motors. He'll blow up some more if that's what it takes to win. It is LaHaye away. It is LaHaye by a couple of car lengths. And daughter Kim says, right on, Dad. Dick LaHaye at 554. Gwynn is really going to be disappointed with a 577.
Well, it may be that he just pulled some of that power out. So we've got a top fuel semifinal. Dick LaHaye, Gary Beck. LaHaye with a lane choice. The other pair, Garlitz and Pastorini. Once again, Big Daddy with the lane choice. Let's go to Steve with Dick LaHaye.
Well, for the man who won it a year ago, Dick LaHaye, you're just another step closer to a repeat win.
Well, you know, we came in here with a brand new race car. Never been on a racetrack. And I had that little checkout pass at 560, and then she ran a 49 the next pass. And we run 254s back to back. And we just got to figure out how to make it run a little bit better.
And more importantly, you're not hurting a thing. Kim's not having to work too hard.
Believe me, we had to work hard that last run. We hurt a piston. We had to put another clutch in it. And I mean, we had that way was the last car up there. We had maybe 15 seconds to spare.
It was hurting things we can't see.
That's it, yeah. We don't know until we get back there.
Okay. Good luck to you, man.
Thanks, Steve.
And Brock's with the defeated Darrell Gwynn.
Well, I'm with a young man who we saw take it all at the Winter Nationals, but I'm afraid in the home state it's not going to be that way, Darrell.
Yeah, we wanted to do a little bit better for our hometown fans, but I'm not into hurting my car or hurting my parts, which we've been doing all weekend, and result can hurt yourself. I saw him out on me, and we've been hurting parts all weekend, and I just lifted right before the finish line. It was pretty unusual for us to hurt as many parts as we did this weekend, but it's a safe weekend, and we'll be back next week.
Well, we're sorry out, but we're proud of you for using your head in those situations. I wish maybe everybody did.
Well, that's true, but we can't, with our budget, without a major sponsor right now, we can't afford to break a bunch of parts, and maybe we could have gambled if we'd had a bigger budget, but right now we're just running off a shoestring budget, and that's what we got to do for right now.
Well, we're sorry it ended for you like this. We'll always see you back.
Well, yeah, we're just trying to keep up that points lead, the Winston World Championship points lead, and I don't know, Garlitz looks like he just might take it away today. Let's hope not.
Okay, well, good luck anyway. See you later.
Thank you.
Darrell Gwynn showing some great maturity. He just can't afford to blow up all those parts, and neither can this team. That is Donnie Couch, crew chief for Dan Pastorini, preparing his mount for a battle with Don Garlitz in the semifinals.